This is a video tutorial for the Osceola County Fair 4-H Market Animal Record Book. This video is compiled for those of you that may need extra help or just need to reference specific sections for your record book. For the purpose of today, the exhibitor is a made-up person just to show you how to fill the record book out. So the first page of your record book, you're going to label your project here at the top. You can label it either 2023 or you can use the years of 2022 and 2023. Your project year will be 2023 because that's the year that the project ends. That's also the year you will be exhibiting your animal, even though you acquire your animal in 2022. So for the purpose of this book, for the end of project date, everything will be 2023. So this exhibitor's name is Master Exhibitor. They're in a cool club, 4-H club. They're 15 as of September 1st. And they have been in this project for 3 years. So they are a senior, and their project animal will be a steer with a tag number of 337, and the official tag number, the electronic ID that the state issues, will go on the line below that. So this first page, you're going to fill it out completely. You're going to get your club leader to sign it, and you can print their name. This club leader's name is club leader. You're going to sign it, so Master Exhibitor has signed it and dated it, that you have done this book yourself. And then your parent or guardian is going to sign also that this book has been completed in according to all the rules and regulations of the county fair. And they will sign and date. And then the drug statement at the bottom will also be signed and dated by the exhibitor and their parent. And then if you move down to the KVLS judging section, you need to choose one or the other. So Master Exhibitor would like to have their book graded. So they will put their book at the end into a 4-H record book official folder. If they chose not to do the graded and they just wanted to do pass fail, they could turn it in a green folder. But since I'm choosing to do graded, I'm going to put it in the official folder. And then that's the first page. So we're going to move on to the next page. This is the KVLS checklist page. When you finish your book, you're going to go through and you're just going to read all this, check it off. And then you're going to read this section here and sign and date and sign and date. This has your skillathon dates and the dates that the record books will be due and when you should bring your report cards in for skillathon. The 4-H checklist will not be completed until May, so you can leave this section blank until you turn it in May. Moving on to the next page is the Youth Market and Open Record Book judging sheet. This page will actually be pulled out, but you can fill out the top information. And you're going to put this in the front of your record book along with your auctioneer statement. You can leave this one in or you can take it out and put it back in for May, but this one is for 4-H for grading. So I went ahead and I've filled out the information on the top. This is just a helpful hints section that you can read, that you can refer back to if you have any questions on how to complete the project book. So the first section is the Market Animal Project Inventory. So this information has been filled out with the species and the gender, what breed it is, the date of purchase, the weight at purchase, and the price paid. If there is an animal that has died during your project that you started with, you would fill in this information if you replaced it with another animal. If you did not have any animal death, then you would just mark NA in the box. This information right here is for seniors only, because only seniors will do equipment inventory depreciation. So a senior can refer to this, and I, for the purpose of this record book, am a senior so that I can show you how to do the depreciation. But depreciation is going to go for each year you have the item, including the current fair year. So we're going to move on to that, and I've started my page, and I've also got a workout page so that I can show you how I did it. So I went ahead and I did a lead rope. 2019 is my purchase year. My purchase cost was $9. So 10% of that is 90, and there's 5 years, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and the end of the project year, which is 2023. So if I multiply 5 times 90, I get $4.50. So that's my depreciation amount. Then to get the value at the end of the project, I'm going to subtract that $4.50 from the $9 to get $4.50. Same for the bucket. Purchased in 2019, $5 purchase cost. So that's going to depreciate the same number of years, 5 years, at $2.50 for the total depreciation amount. Subtract that from the $5 initial fee, and you have $2.50 left over. A feed scoop, which is purchased in 2022 at $3, is going to depreciate for 2 years at 60 cents. So you're going to take that away from the $3 and you end up with $2.40. So we're going to do the halter now. So the halter cost is $24. So that's also going to depreciate for 2 years. So 2 times $2.40, which is your 10%, equals $4.80 off. I'm going to get my calculator out just to make sure my math is correct. And I'm going to take that $24 and I'm going to subtract that $4.80 from that. So my depreciation amount is the $4.80. And then my total left value at the end of my project is $19.20. Now say you purchase an item in 2023, so that's actually your end of project year, that still counts as being purchased during the project. So you're still going to have 1 year of depreciation. So I'm going to say my brush costs me $6. 10% of $6 is 60 cents. So if I have 60 cents off of $6, that's, 60 cents is my depreciation amount. Off of $6 leaves me with $5.40. So then at the end on column C, I'm going to add all these columns up together, and that's going to give me my total for my expenses. That's $47, and it's a good idea always to re-add your math just to make sure your numbers are the same each time. Then I'm going to go over to the next column and I'm going to add that column. Make sure you put your decimal points in, and make sure when you're listing your numbers, you list them with 2 numbers following the decimal point. So that's $13 even, and I'm going to put 0.00. Okay, so my total depreciation amount is $13, and then my value of my equipment at the end of the year, I'm just going to add all these amounts together. And that's $34 even. And what you can do is you can go back and you can add these 2 amounts to make sure that you get your starting amount, which is column C, which is $47. And that's how you'll complete the depreciation section. And then when we get to the financial summary page, we'll use those amounts to put back in what the depreciation amount and the value at the end of the project is. So then you're going to go to your feed expenses. So I've went ahead and I've filled out, for the most part, the feed expenses. You're going to take your total pounds of feed and multiply that by how much each bag costs. So for mine, it was like $14 a bag times 6. That gives me that 300 pounds to give me $84. And then, so the long fattener is a different amount. So it's going to be $16.50 a bag. And then I went ahead and put $3.50 down here. So I'm going to multiply that $16.50 times 7 to get $115.50. And make sure you put your 5 and your 0. And this says make sure that you estimate dates and amounts of feed purchases that will or may be purchased after your record books are turned in January. So we're just going to add one more section here, and we're going to put, let's go ahead and we'll put 2, remember this is an estimate, let's put 211.23 and 211.23, and we're going to do coastal hay. We're going to do 1 bale at $8. And we're going to do the Walpole long fattener. And we're going to go back to 200 pounds on that, because you're not going to need as much during those last few weeks of fair time. So that would be 4 bags times $16.50 is $66. And then I'm going to add all those amounts up to get my total. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, and then 12 plus 550, which is 1750. So that's how many pounds of feed my steer ate. And then I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 bales of hay. And then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add up these amounts right here. So I've got 84 times 1, 2, 3. I'm going to write that number down so I have it, 252. I've got 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 times 5. I'm going to write that number down. So I've got 99 plus 115.50 plus 66 plus 8 plus my 2 amounts right here, 252 plus 80 equals $620.50. And again, my suggestion after you get done is to go back and just double check your math and make sure your math is correct. So that's my feed expenses, and so I'm going to need that for another page as well, okay? So this next page is the feed expenses during the project. So you're going to start at the official weight. If you didn't purchase any feed before the official weight, then this page is still applicable, but you would just put the number of days in the project. So I didn't purchase any feed until the actual official day of the project, so I put 0 there. My estimated total pounds of feed purchased, so that's column A, 4A, page 8, so that's 1750, so that's what I'm going to write right here. Now, you're going to go back and you're going to adjust this for your 4-H turn-in May, and when you do, remember to erase and recalculate your totals. That's why it's good to either use an erasable pen or use a pencil or use plenty of whiteout to adjust, make your adjustments if you don't know for sure what your actual purchases are going to be. And then the estimated total pounds of feed fed during your project. So because my days in pounds were 0, it's going to be the same thing. Now, if your pounds of feed that you fed before the project is going to be different, like say you fed 150 pounds before the project, and then this was your total purchase, then you would minus that amount off your total, which is column A take away column B1. So, but mine's going to stay the same. So I'm just going to put right here, estimated total pounds of feed fed during the project is 1,750 pounds. Okay, it says estimated cost of feed, so I have that amount. So that's 620.50. Okay, and you're going to use these later for the other pages. So this part down here is going to be completed once you have your actual amounts, and so you'll turn this part in, fill it in, and turn it in May. So for KVLS, you're going to have this filled out and to turn it in. Okay, so now we're going to go to the vet and health expenses page. Now I went ahead and I filled this in, and I have not totaled it out yet, but for the purpose of this record book, let's just go ahead and let's say that that's all we're doing with our steer this year. He's not getting any other kind of medication. He stays well through the project. This is what his total cost is going to be to raise him for health purposes. So I'm going to add those amounts up. 505, and again, double check your math. And then down here, this is where you would put your health information for what you gave them. So like at an official weigh-in, they gave the steers valbazen, and so we were given an amount. It's given to them orally. I had to look up the withdrawal time, so you can go on any of the drug manufacturers' websites and put in withdrawal time, and it should come up for each medication, or you can just do a search for the specific medication and see what the withdrawal time is. Make sure you put a reason used, make sure you put the appropriate dosage, and then this is also important. So if it's 48 days out, you probably, if it's already December, January, you probably don't want to give them Ivermectin again because it's still going to be in their system come slaughter time. So you need to make sure you pay attention to the withdrawal times to make sure you're not giving your animal medication so that it's still in their system when it's time for their departure. Okay, so then you're going to turn to the non-equipment pages. This is two of the things that I have purchased for my project. Now remember, you can do stamps on here, you can do film developing, any kind of sprays. This is anything that in the project is going to be something you don't necessarily get back. Like you'd still have a feed bucket, you'd still have a halter, you'd still have a lead rope. So those things will go on your equipment. Non-equipment are things you don't really get back. So I went ahead and I did Shoshin and shampoo. If I'm mailing buyer letters, I might add my buyer letters on there, things like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and total these out. So that's $28 for my non-expenses. And then down here for the show record, this is all going to be done in May. So this will be filled out. You're going to put whatever class you're assigned, the ribbons you award, any money that you earn, premium money, and then for the sale information, you'll just fill this information out, put your total add-ons, but all of this section down here at the bottom will be completed in May. Okay, so on to my animal records. Now this I've adjusted accordingly. My total project days is 145, so I need to make sure that my dates add up correctly. So if I last weighed on the 24th, I'm not going to count that day in. I'm going to go to the next day when I go to start figuring out these. So this would be the 24th through the 6th, and then I'm going to go probably to the 7th to the 14th, and so on, so that my days add up correctly, because the total number of days on feed should be the same as your project days. So down here I'm going to fill this out, and this is going to be 145. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to do this. So say I take it and I weigh it again on January 21st, and say my amount that he's gaining about 140 with each spread, so I'm just going to add another 140 to that. So 960 plus 140 is 1,100 pounds. Okay, so then I'm going to take the number of the pounds that they gained, I'm going to divide that by the number of days. So it's 3.767. Now remember, you got to round up 2 decimal so that you have the 2 decimals. So 7 makes that 6 round up, so my amount is going to be 3.77. So I'm going to do it for the next one, 140 divided by 38, and that has 3.68 because the 4 follows the 8, so that one's going to stay. Same thing, it's going to be the same thing here. Okay, and you need an estimated show weight. Okay, so you have to have a minimum of 4, and make sure you include that estimated show weight. So if mine's gaining an average of 3.68 per day, and I have from the 21st to the 15th, which is 26 days, I'm just going to take that 26 and multiply it by 3.68, and that gives me another 95.68 pounds. So I'm going to roughly round that to kind of guess my estimated show weight. So if he's at 1,100 pounds, let's add that 1,100 to that. And that's going to give me 1195.68. I'm going to go to 1196 for his estimated show weight. 6 pounds. Okay, so the pounds that he gained is 96. So I'm going to take that 96 and I'm going to divide it by 26. And that's 3.69. So then the estimated total weight gain, so you're going to take this amount right here, the 1196, and subtract your initial weight, the 658, to give you a total gain of 538 pounds. So then you'll come back and you'll actually fill in the actual show weight and the total weight gain once you have the actual amounts. So you'll redate the 215, this should say 23. You'll redate that here, put your actual show weight, and then the actual gain. You'll figure out your numbers again. So then you're going to come down here. So my estimated show weight is going to be 1196. My official weight, I went ahead and filled in the bottom, even though this part you won't fill in until May. But you can go ahead and fill that in because you know what your official weight was. So then I'm going to take my total weight gained and subtract it. So total A from total B, which should be this amount right here. So we're going to just double check it again. 658, 538, and then total pounds on feed. So I'm going to go back to my feed page and see, and this is actually page 9, which is this page, and it's going to be box C1. So you're going to do C1, 1750. So then the pounds of feed per pounds of gain, so you're going to take this column and divide it by this column. So I have my 1750, and I'm going to divide it by 538 to get 3.25. And it says 252, so it's going to stay 25. I'm not going to round up. So I got that many pounds per pound of gain. So my total pounds feed cost is that same amount right here on D1, which is 620.50. So feed cost per pound of gain is F divided by C. So I'm going to take 620.50 and I'm going to divide that by 538, and that gives me a total cost of $1.15. So that's what it costs for every pound he gains when I multiply it, okay? So then the rest of this, when you get your actual amounts, you're going to go back and you're going to fill that in. So that's that page right there. Okay, so we're